everyone. Welcome back to Recap. I'm Caroline Derby with Roby Brock.
Hey, how are you?
Hey,
You look very Valentine's-y with your pink on there.
I tried to be a little bit.
Show everybody your shoes too,
yeah,
if you can.
Oh, I don't think they can see.
I don't think so either.
No.
They're pretty cool.
Tennis shoes on right now. Thank you for saying that they were cool. Yeah, I'll change shoes later, but.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you got an old guy saying you got cool shoes on, you better hope that they're cool, because I could just be having a flashback to the 70s or something. So
that's true. Yeah. Well, thanks. I like these shoes too. I thought they went like
yeah,
this.
no, I agree.
Wish you all could see them, but maybe later.
I got cool shoes on.
Oh,
See,
shoes.
I got wingtips on. Look at those. Look, those are fancy.
You've been watching the Olympics?
I have been watching the Olympics. Yeah. I've watched some ice dancing, I think.
Yes.
Is that right?
Oh,
so
goodness,
the big controversy there. So, which I agree, it was controversial.
I completely agree. Yeah. I've been rooting for.
They was robbed.
The USA pair, Chalk and Bates, for a while now.
Yeah. Also,
there's a great kind of Netflix documentary series on ice dancing right now. Highly suggest. It's called Glitter and Gold. But in case you didn't know, I guess France took first, USA took second. And Canada took third in ice dancing. Should have been USA at the top.
And the French judges' scores were way out of bounds of everybody else's to inflate the French couple there. So
there was also so much that happened with that ice dancing couple before they even got to the Olympics. I think at some point. Like switched citizenship and some partner breakups, and they got anyway. You have to watch the documentary series. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
I've been watching some of the, I don't know what it's called, but the women that do the tube stuff and they jump up and do flips and all that stuff, the snowboarding.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I've been watching the speed skating.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I love it all.
Yeah. No, it's good.
I think it's been good too, and I'll root for Team USA. Any day.
USA. I'll root for Team Caroline Derby any day. How about that?
You,
so
thank you.
I'm a fan.
I can find a sport that I'm good at.
I know. Yeah. The country's behind you.
Thank you. If I got Roby Brock behind me, the country's behind me.
That's right. That's right. At least. So.
Well, it's been a little bit of a slower week on my end for things that have been happening at the state capitol. I'll just run through a couple headlines, if you will, of things that we've talked about a little bit this week. One of the first being that I talked to Secretary of State Cole Jester this week. And if you've been by the Capitol, have you been by the Capitol recently?
Every day I come to Channel 4.
Oh, well, good. Did you notice?
It's a block away, so
yeah. Well, some people can get here without ever seeing the Capitol. So
okay.
I just kind of wondered, but
I haven't looked up there, but I saw your package on it.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, there's just some fencing, some construction going on over there. A lot of people asking why. Someone asked, am I going to be able to take pictures in those pretty trees that they normally have this spring, or is all the fencing going to be up? And this is just truly a news update for the Capitol. They are doing some security upgrades right now to the vehicle tunnel. So as of right now, like, you can drive through almost anyone and get dropped off maybe underneath like the awning right there and then walk into the Capitol. But some of these upgrades include like a key card access on both sides of that street right there so that certain people can get in and out. They're going to do bollards. That's a new term that I learned. I always just called them the things that raise from the ground. And that's what they are.
I thought those were called zombies, things that raise from the ground.
They're called that too. I don't know if that's they paid for those for the security upgrades or not, but the bollards they did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there's always construction going on at the Capitol. I mean, it's never, there's always a project going on somewhere on the Capitol grounds. So it's nonstop. So
just happens to be for driving. They got $3 million appropriated for security upgrades of all kind. I don't know specifically how much the vehicle tunnel project is costing, but
I haven't been through the tunnel yet. Have you been? Have you, like the underground, that goes over to the Big Mac building? I haven't been through that one yet.
I haven't been through the tunnel, but I've been down to all the new offices down there.
Yeah, I need to go through that.
I haven't walked from the Mac building to the Capitol.
Yeah, I want to do that.
I know.
Maybe we should a field trip.
Okay, that'd be fun.
That'd be good.
Live stream recap.
You could TikTok it.
Hey, yeah, I am trying. I'm trying to be social media savvy.
We'll just Facebook it. We'll FaceTime it.
Facebook.
That's where all your strength is right now anyway.
It is. You're right. We were having this conversation before we started airing. I feel like my larger audience is Facebook right now. So I'm really trying to be active.
The old people are watching you on Facebook.
And, hey, I'll take whoever wants to watch is good with me. There are no age limitations.
True.
We do not discriminate based on age. So anyone, come on and watch Channel 4 and recap.
All right. We'll do it.
But yeah, security upgrades going on. Hopefully those will be wrapped up by about this summer. But, you know, this is... It's not silly because a lot of people take pictures there, but there have been people reaching out like, am I going to be able to do that in these beautiful trees this spring? And the answer is yes. I think there are some strategic shots that you can get, but also don't be afraid to call the Capitol and say, hey, you know, I want to take a bridal photo shoot. Can we stop for, 4 hours one day? I think they would work with you on that.
Really?
For sure.
Wow.
That's what I
don't know, man. That's a lot of time off,
but
but
we'll see. Give him a call.
We'll see. He's running for office, so he'll probably be very agreeable on anything. So, yes, for your vote. I'll be happy to do it. So, just kidding.
Just kidding. Yes, Cole Jester's running for land commissioner, right?
I believe so, yeah, against Christian Olson.
Okay.
Yes, that's the Republican primary. I don't think there's any Democrats in that race.
Okay.
Probably be a Libertarian. There'll probably be Libertarians in almost all of the constitutional officer races this year. There are conventions later this year, but they just get to nominate at convention. And since there are not some Democrats in some of those races, what do you got to lose by just getting nominated and putting your name out there? I mean, you might still get 30 or 35% even if you don't campaign, just from people wanting to vote against a Republican. So, yep.
See how it shakes out.
Early voting starts next week.
I know. Can you believe it?
Yeah, I can. I'm ready. Let's get it going. Let's do it. Let's get it. I'm ready. Let's get it over with.
I know. So I guess that puts the election 2 weeks from now, maybe?
That'd be 2 weeks from Tuesday. Yeah.
So it's about
It's actually starting a day late this year. Early voting is because President's Day falls on the Monday that early voting would normally start. So it's February 17th, which has cracked me up because we get a lot of political advertising in some of our products. And the initial ones came out. Everybody was like February 16th to March, 2nd, early voting. And then they all sent substitute ads that said February 17th. Sorry about that, So it's like, but I mean, it's rare that happens, but it happens.
It happens, and that's okay.
Yeah, so heated primaries. Democrats have a governor's primary between Fred Love and Sufa Saprasith Mays. There's a Democratic primary for U.S. Senate. It's a statewide one, which is Hallie Schaffner versus Ethan Dunbar. And then there is a Republican primary for U.S. Senate. Tom Cotton actually has two challengers whose names escape me. And then you've got a Republican primary for Secretary of State and Commissioner of State Lands. So
a couple things are going to happen.
Yeah,
in a couple weeks for sure. And then I guess some primaries for different state Senate and state representative offices.
And there's a ton of those. Yeah, State Senate and State Rep. There's a bunch of contested. Well, there's Republican and Democratic primaries. You got some term-limited legislators. Then you got some that just have some challengers against them. So we can talk about dark money if you want to, because that's what's playing in some of those races.
Okay, I was going to bring that up. You had a guest on your show this morning. Y'all got into the topic of dark money. This is a topic I'm not familiar with at all, so I'm going to let Roby kind of take the reins on it and maybe just ask you some questions about what that entails. But for someone who doesn't know or hears the word dark money, I mean, what is that?
Well, it's when your money gets really dirty and it's dark. No, I'm kidding. It's
not green anymore.
It's called dark money because you can't trace where it kind of comes from. So, there's a lot of financial disclosure in political advertising. So a candidate has to, list everybody that contributes, a certain amount of money over a threshold to them. And it's a pretty low threshold. I can't remember what it is. It used to be like $50. It may be $100 now. But so you kind of know where the money's coming from in a lot of political races. You can see that in some of the PACs that are out there. But there is the ability to create an independent expenditure committee is what they're called. And, one person might fund an independent expenditure committee and put $2 million into it.
Wow.
And you won't know until the paperwork's filed, which comes later, who that one person is, how much money they spent. And because of a U.S. Supreme Court decision years ago, that's considered free speech. And so you can say whatever you want to. So what you typically see in a lot of these races, local legislative races, sometimes you see it in statewide or congressional races, are these independent expenditure committees spend dark money on attacking a particular person's record to try to raise their negatives and bring their vote, support down. So you might see someone claim, Caroline Derby, voted against funding for police. She doesn't support law enforcement. It's fair to say that in free speech. They might be citing your record as a legislator of maybe taking one vote against raising the budget for the state police, but you might have voted for another bill that raised it even more, but you might have had one vote that didn't raise it as much. And so they'll just say you voted against raising.
Kind of cling to that.
Exactly. Okay. So again, technically accurate, but pretty deceptive and out of context.
No context. Okay.
And that happens in a lot of these dark money ads, as you see accusations made that there's just a lot more there that is not represented. But people's attention spans, voters' attention spans tend to be short, and they'll remember something small and punchy versus going and doing the homework that is required to kind of go, no, that doesn't seem right, So they can be influential in some of these races.
Well, and when we were talking earlier, I think one of the first questions I said was like, well, is this not illegal? And you mentioned that there's a ruling about free speech, but can you talk a little bit more about that, about why it's not illegal and why you can't necessarily track it too?
Yeah. So there was a monumental Supreme Court decision years ago called Citizens United, and it was basically challenging this political advertising and spending, and it basically the conclusion was these corporations, these groups have free speech rights. And so anything that they want to spend their money on, they're free to do that under the Constitution and the ability to exercise your right to free speech. So it's something that Congress could pass a law and change. They'd have to put some restrictions on it, and it would still have to pass some sort of muster of free speech.
Right. Okay.
But there are things Congress could do to curtail that. It's just there's not a lot of consensus on it. And to be honest, some of our congressional officials, I'm not saying the Arkansas ones, but I'm just saying in general, particularly leadership, you kind of might want to use some dark money every now and then. There might be a reason to use it, so let's don't change it too much there.
Okay.
But it's been hard to find consensus on this, even though it's kind of one of those things. If you explain it generally, it probably polls at 90%. Yes, we should get dark money out of our political, system. But when you give the specifics of how to do that, well, no, I'm not for that. Well, I'm not for that. It kind of peels away the layers of support there. So generally, people, I think, support it, but when you get in the specifics, it gets very difficult to change.
When it comes to tracking, the reason that maybe, in another question, that it doesn't necessarily have to go through a campaign or a campaign doesn't have to track it is because it's negative. But if it were positive ads, that would count towards some kind of campaign finance rules, or?
Yeah, I mean, if you're endorsing a candidate, that is kind of viewed as you're making a contribution to a candidate in that way. So these are typically negative ads, and again, they're just exercising free speech. I think the other thing, and I haven't looked at this in a while, but I know, probably about 10 years ago, there was a huge race here in Arkansas. The Mark Pryor versus Tom Cotton U.S. Senate race was a huge one. There was a lot of dark money in that campaign. And when we would go, I'm making this up, but, be like, paid for by the American People for Freedom Fund. Well, who's against American People for Freedom? No one, but it's just a fictitious name that was put on some sort of independent expenditure committee. And when you go research who's American People for Freedom, you'd have trouble finding the form even filed on them. And the way that the law used to work is they had to file some IRS forms, but it was 4 years before they had to be made public. And so who's going to go back in 2018 and look at the expenditures of these independent expenditure committees in the Mark Pryor, Tom Cotton race from 2014? No one. I mean, ever. So it's just really hard to track and trace. And again, huge loopholes in the law that allow it to happen. It could be more tightly regulated. There have been efforts to try to do it. I just don't think that the political will's there, and it's complicated. It's pretty technical. It's very legalistic, and it's a hard thing to control. So I would just say, if you see something about a candidate and it's particularly negative, be skeptical and go do some homework about this. You can probably find something online that explains, or even reach out to the campaign that it's about and say, they're saying your dad was Satan. I mean, can you just tell me, was that his name or not? I mean, can you correct that for me? Yeah, that's not true, and let them at least give their side of the story. So that's asking a lot for voters to do sometimes too. They're busy. So.
But you do think that there's a possibility of some dark money in some of these races?
I definitely see it right now. I mean, it's playing out in the state Senate races with Ron Caldwell and Brian King. There's a lot of accusations flying by some independent expenditure money there. We're seeing it in the prosecutor's race in Pulaski County. So there's a lot of it going on. It's not to the level of statewide level, but I mean, it's happening in some local races right now. So, yep.
Okay.
Be skeptical.
Yeah, and that's probably just a good tip in general.
Probably.
Just be skeptical. And
even if it's super good, oh my gosh, he was like the best Sunday school teacher in the world. In the world? I mean, maybe just in Arkansas.
Or something along those lines. But yeah, I think don't be afraid to do your research too. Yeah. And if you're be an informed voter, that's what I always used to say.
Got to do it.
Be an informed voter and do some research too.
Hard to do sometimes. I mean, there's a lot out there, and who do you trust and how do you trust it and stuff like that. So, I kind of have a rule of thumb on our reporting. You will not find us do a lot of, I think what happens in media a lot is you get floated opposition research is what it's called. It's where the other candidate has done some research on his opponent or her opponent, and they found some things, they had a hot check charge or whatever, which that's another interesting race this week that had a development. But, and they want the media to report it so that the candidate doesn't have to be the one to report it. But then the candidate's going to cite the media source and say, see what my opponent did. And I just kind of have a rule of thumb whenever that stuff gets floated my way from campaigns, which does happen. I'm like, if your candidate wants to hold a press conference and make this accusation, I'll come cover it. Yeah. But I'm probably not going to do anything with this.
Do it on our own.
Yeah.
So that makes sense too.
Because I would not have gone and done the research to find out how candidate A, what papers they turned in when they were in college, and what they wrote in those papers, which is one of the things that's been pitched to me one time. I was like, you want to know what he said when he was in college? I'm like, 20 years ago? No.
We all said a lot in
when
college,
he was 18? Right? I mean, probably not, I mean,
right,
so.
Yeah, I think, so be skeptical.
Yes, but be informed.
I agree. Just some other kind of headline that we talked about this week. The Attorney General is going to have a new office in Fayetteville, Northwest Arkansas area. I believe it's in Fayetteville.
It's on the square up there.
On the square. So that's pretty neat. I think one of the reasons for it that Attorney General Tim Griffin talked about was one of the reasons. I'm sure there are plenty of others, but a lot of law students from the U of A who are at the School of Law there maybe clerk with him during the summer in their office in Little Rock. And so he said one of those reasons to give students, School of Law students, an opportunity to maybe clerk year round or maybe per semester, whatever it might be if they have an office in Fayetteville too. But he also has a lot of UA Little Rock Bowen School of Law students who clerk here in Little Rock as well. A new office happening up there. Yeah,
I mean, I don't see it as anything but a positive development.
Just a new little thing.
Law clerks do a lot of work, and it gets them some good experience, and so I see no downside to it. So I'm surprised it hadn't happened before, to be honest. So
I thought about going to law school.
Really? And what made you think differently?
I just don't think I'm cut out for it.
Really?
But then I realized if I can do this job, I can do law school.
Or do you think you're not argumentative enough?
Probably not. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I think I could.
I think you are.
Develop a point. You think I am? Yeah. I think I could develop a point and stick to it and maybe poke holes in a story. That's kind of what we have to do as journalists, right?
Think you can
but
do that?
I don't know.
Really
I mean, I think we have to. Like a lawyer. Defend myself like a lawyer.
I'm trying to get you to argue with me right now, but you're not picking up on
See, this is why I can't go to law school. Not taking, maybe that's why I could go to law school because I'm not taking the bait.
So,
but here I am instead. So,
hey,
A lot of, news anchors and journalists are former attorneys or, I guess not former necessarily, but
I've known several that have gone to law school, and they typically like to go in part because, if you cover the legislature, I mean, that's about making laws. And so it is helpful to have that background and understand why they're doing some things. But I know I've worked with several journalists over the years that have gone to law school.
But maybe it'll be something to look into.
I got plenty of my taste of law school from just covering the legislature.
I know. So, that's probably so. I think
it's enough for me.
I wish this type of degree wasn't necessarily offered at OBU, but a government degree, if you will, I think sometimes would help us more than a political science degree when it comes to covering the Capitol, while it does help in several different ways.
Yeah.
But political science, I've always said, is more of like a major that's based on maybe political theory. Like it's kind of, you learn a lot more about different theories, which helps, obviously.
Yeah.
But I took like a world politics class, a comparative politics, and it wasn't really like the inner workings of the Capitol, right? I didn't have one of those types of classes.
You had to go to Henderson State for that degree.
Maybe that was offered across the street from OBU. But I don't know. But very thankful for my political science degree from OBU. It did help me, and it still does to this day. So
let's talk real briefly about that Supreme Court decision on in the Missy Wardlaw race, which was over the hot check charge. That was that was a pretty big development there. So she was facing being disqualified as a candidate because she had, if I remember my facts right, she had had a hot check and agreed to pay it, but she never admitted. I mean, she did not have to admit that she had committed a crime or to get booked on the records as some sort of, transgression in that respect. And so that was the kind of the technically what happened, to say she's not disqualified from office because she has not been convicted of any type of. I think the Arkansas Constitution, Lindsay, you may know this better than me, but it's like high crimes or misdemeanors or something like that. It's a very vague description of breaking the law as to what disqualifies you from being a candidate for office. It's not like a specific conviction of anything. It is like, and so what constitutes a high crime? I don't know. I mean,
what's the threshold for it?
What's the threshold for it? Yeah, so that's kind of what's been in question on all this. And there have been some candidates that have been kicked off for, theft or something like that when they were much younger. And but anyhow, but kudos to Missy Wardlaw. She's Jeff Wardlaw's wife and is running for his open seat. There's another opponent in that race too, and I think he brought the lawsuit. So it seems to be straightened out now. We'll see how that affects election. That'll be a race to watch, to be honest.
I think so too,
because of that.
And now I guess we are about 2 weeks out from election day. So this happening right before people could start to vote. And there have been a couple, maybe one other instance. Did someone get taken off the ballot recently, or someone ruled in the other direction? I don't know. I don't want to say too much, but I'm kind of remembering something maybe that I saw. But maybe we can recap that next week if I remember exactly what I'm talking about here.
Miss OBU contestant or something like that. So. Is that possible?
Maybe so. No, I don't know. Right. Miss OBU's this weekend. So.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, it actually is. It's kind of funny.
Are you emceeing it?
No. At Tiffany, well, my sister's competing.
Oh, well, that would be a conflict.
That would be a conflict of interest.
Wasn't she great, folks? Wasn't she really the best in the talent competition?
No.
How about that evening gown? Doesn't it look spectacular on her?
I wouldn't do that. But Tiffany Lee, do you know Tiffany Lee? Mm-mm. She is a news anchor in Northwest Arkansas, a morning news anchor, and she went to OBU, and she was a former Miss OBU as well, and so she's emceeing. But
that's awesome.
But I'll be there cheering
on
everybody.
What's your sister's name?
Anna Derby.
All right. Well, good luck, Anna.
I know. Good luck, Anna, and all the girls. It's just a fun night. It's a good night for everybody.
Can you recap the pageant next week?
Yeah, I will. I'll give you a little recap of Anna's performance at Miss OBU.
I had a friend a few years ago, Gracie Stover.
I know Gracie,
family friend, and when she was competing, and we watched some of the local pageants.
Oh wow!
Because she was in one time, and we wanted to see how she did on that one, and that's a whole different level of competition at those local ones. So.
The local one, yes. Yeah.
You get a little bit of everything in that one.
Well, and I think, the more the merrier. And, I think people win. I mean, I'm so thankful. Like, I think sometimes people forget that you win money for your education through this, which is a big aspect of it. And so it's kind of like, everyone's kind of giving it a shot and seeing what can happen.
Yeah, for sure. All
You
right.
can do everything. But
We're getting the peace out sign over here from Lindsay. So 2 minutes. Tell me what you got going on in this next week.
Oh, goodness.
And I'll remind you Valentine's Day is coming up.
Yes, Valentine's Day is
What did you get
tomorrow.
your boyfriend for Valentine's Day?
Oh, I actually got him some new shoes. I got him a pair of Hokas.
Do they match these pink ones that you
No,
got
they
on?
don't match the pink ones. They're actually gray.
No.
I got him some Hokas.
Would you make him dress alike like you? I mean, would
like
you
a
make him-
matching? Oh, no.
Okay,
No.
Just making sure.
But I do expect a level of
Tell him I got this on the record. He'll never have to do that now. So it's chronicled for all time.
Yeah, he
I
enjoys ReCAP.
Y'all get married someday and you're out there with your Christmas pictures and you're forcing him to wear a sweater. He's like, no.
Like
you
the
said on
Christmas
ReCAP
Day.
one time.
The Christmas Day
I did
pajamas.
not have to wear the
matching
matching. I don't have to do it. So I got him off the hook on that.
Oh, goodness. Well, y'all do have
Good
the
for
same
you.
name, so
See?
there you go.
I know,
Should
I'm
count
helping
for
him out,
something.
so.
Well, thanks. Yeah, I think this next week, just be on the lookout for some things from me. I think we're kind of planning to maybe explain a couple of the different races and highlight those as we move into election week too. And I know some of these special elections, you're voting for who's going to represent you in the fiscal session, but you're also voting in a primary too, so they might be on the ballot twice. Some of those more explanatory things, not necessarily true reporting, but just kind of telling you what you can expect on a ballot is coming up this next week. So be on the lookout for that, at least for me. What about from you?
Yeah, I mean, there's a House and a Senate race that are in special
Right,
election.
yes.
General election is going to be on the same day as the primary.
Yeah.
It's incredibly confusing.
Yeah.
So, I've looked at those and gone, if you're a voter, that's going to be a tough
Right,
one to
it's
kind of
gonna-
go, well, why am I doing all this?
Yeah,
anyhow,
exactly.
That's good. So, well, I am, I guess I'm just going to be working because I'm getting the double high fives from Lindsay over there to wrap this sucker up.
All right.
You'll have to tune in next week to find out what I did this coming week.
Sounds good. Thanks, Roby. See you next
All right.
week.